Ranch 'em in the pasture, run 'em in the pen, work 'em on the Sundays, do it all again. Race 'em in the sand, buck 'em in the mud, drip a cowboy's sweat, bleed a cowboy's blood.
I'm Zeke Thurston, 2016 World Champion Saddlebrock Rider, and you're watching The Pepperidge Stewart Show.
Yep, that's what happened. You're watching. That's your fault, not my fault. But here, I am here, guys. You clicked it, you tuned to it, so that is on you. I do want to tickle your ear for a minute and let you know, if you haven't been on the PBR website, pbr.com, go on there to the PBR Podcast Network and look on there, because I'm letting you in on a little secret. There are some episodes that I've been loading up there on the site that are not on the other sites. So there's some flashback shows we did. We put the bronc riding. We had the bronc riding girls on a couple years ago. We put that on there, and the most controversial episode ever, the Brazilian show that we did, that sparked a lot of discussion back in the day, is on there too. We had Guilherme, Robson, Arajau, Robson, Palermo, all those guys on talking about. That was back in the old days when they had the big bull rope controversy. So that's out there too. It's on the PBR Podcast Network. Go check it out, listen to it, and see what you think. It's good stuff. All right, today we got some good stuff happening. We're going to talk to the Englishman, who is now in Texas. It is that guy. It's Oli. We're going to talk to Oli here shortly. We're going to chat with him and see what he's up to, what he's doing, his thoughts, theories, and more on the differences of England and Texas, because he's been in both. I've been in both, but I'm from here. He's from there, so I'm curious to see what our thought process is on the two countries. But other than that, we got that for you. We're going to have Ray Nicole Music on the interwebnet. She's got a new video out. We're going to throw that at you at some point. And have you got your tickets for the PBR yet? PBR is coming up, PBR Finals. And I want to tell you that SeatGeek, I don't know where you buy tickets at, but if you buy tickets on SeatGeek to buy your tickets, if you will use the discount code Pepper Stewart, you will get a discount when you buy tickets to anything. So do that. We got horse sale news. We got some stuff from our friends at Angus TV. The WCRA, we've got some stuff happening there we're going to tell you about. The PBR is happening. We've got the What Are You Watching on TV. We're going to dive into that just a little bit. And then we're going to talk about the Western fashion industry and what is happening and why are people losing their minds over fashion. But the PBR, do you have tickets? If you don't, get them now.
In this stadium, only one rider will be crowned the 2024 PBR World Champion. Get ready for 2 nights of bull riding at AT&T Stadium for all the glory. But the party starts Friday night with Kid Rock performing live at Kid Rock's Rockin' Rodeo. Grab life by the bulls all weekend long. Get your tickets now for the PBR World Finals Championship and Kid Rock's Rockin' Rodeo at AT&T Stadium.
I see what you did there. Did you catch that? Grab life by the bulls. Did you hear that? I caught that. Yep, I see what you did there. So the World Finals is happening. There's going to have some qualifying rounds and stuff going on at the stockyards, and they're going to have AT&T Stadium happening. I believe it's that Friday night is the Kid Rockin' Rodeo. And what people are confused about with that, when the Kid Rockin' Rodeo, they're doing teams. So you're going to have teams. They did a draft, and they drafted all their riders, and then everybody was asking, well, who are the bull riders? Who are the bull riders in the Kid Rockin' Rodeo? There are none. There are no bulls. It's just going to be, but you got the barrel racing, the bronc riding, the bareback riding, team roping, calf roping, breakaway roping, but there will be no bulls. Steer wrestling, you have all that, but you won't have any bull riding. Your bull riding will be that weekend at the PBR Finals where you get your bull riding. So the Kid Rockin' Rodeo, he come down. I don't know if you've seen his, the videos we put out there, him riding. You know, he rode the horse across AT&T Stadium and got out, and then he talks to some folks, and we talked to him for a little bit. Has had pretty good conversations with Kid Rock, and talked about a lot of stuff. And out of that conversation, the part that you can see, I'm going to show you now. Kid Rock and rodeo. So you've been involved in rodeo for a little bit. So how's that been being around PBR and the bull riding?
Great. Everybody for that knucklehead Sean Gleason. No, it's been great, man. What a group of people. Like I was saying earlier, just, it's a space I want to be in with just great, hardworking folks who love America, love Western culture. And, really looking forward to try and move the ball down the field, move the needle a little bit, just in all things Western sports, and really try to take it to some people who maybe don't know so much about this and really turn them on to it.
So how's that working out for the teams, and you think that's going to kind of catch on with regular rodeo?
Well, I would have to think, after being around walking this planet for this long, that what I have noticed is that competition always breeds better. So, with having people going head-to-head in a lot of these events, hopefully that creates, this is the first time we've done it. Anybody's done it. So, I'm looking forward to some of the stories and drama that might create. And then hopefully it just gives people just that little extra kick in the ass to try and, try just to push that right over. If you're giving 100%, maybe you want to try to give 110 now, because it's not only just you're being timed. You're also, got a little bit of your, mojo on the line when you're going against somebody.
Okay. So that is the philosophy on that. That's the philosophy on that deal for the Kid Rock and Rodeo. You're going to have a concert, so it's going to be a good time if you want to get out there. I'm sure there's still a few tickets left, and like I said, if you use SeatGeek to get your tickets, use discount code Pepper Stewart. That way I can save you some money. All right, bull riding. We talked about this a while back. It's been discussed around the globe. Everybody's been watching the videos with J.B. Mooney. He's been training old cowboy Cerrone. He was going to ride Dana White's bull, Twisted Steel. And we had, they put the challenge out there, and if he rode the bull, he was going to get $50,000 for his kids camp that he does out there, where he brings the kids out there every year for a kids camp, and they do cow stuff and check out stuff in camp, and kind of a team building deal out there on his ranch. Well, during his training, this occurred. So now we've got this. Cowboy Cerrone injured on a practice bull, canceling the showdown with Dana White's Twisted Steel. So this was supposed to happen on May 18th, and it says that he tore the bicep in his riding arm. His arm hurt pretty bad. It's 100% bicep tear off the bone. So, in his own words, he says, you mess with a bull, sometimes you get the horns. It says it's not the end. He's going to rehab, and he still wants a shot at Twisted Steel. So his plan is to get that healed up and go for it. Now, Twisted Steel is pretty rank. He's bucked 90% of his riders off, and so he's decided that with that torn bicep, he's not going to ride. So some are saying, did he really tear his bicep? Or did he realize what he was up against and was like, man, better not do that? So that's that's where the chatter's been now on the interweb nets, as people are kind of confused. It's like, well, did he really? Or did he come to the realization of what was in store? So that is what's happening with that. I'm sure he'll still be down there. You can always go down there. Cole Hauser will be down there too with his PBR party. So that will be interesting time. Be good times down there. And what do I see? What is happening over there? We have a guest. Whoa, we got guests, guys. We got guests. Guests from across the pond, but not anymore. I don't know how that works. We'll find out. I guess it's Oli.
That's right. Hello, how you doing?
There you are. So let's talk about this. Let's go back and let's let's figure this out. So you're in England, and then what happened?
Well, actually, I'm English, but I was born in Hong Kong. But to make it simpler, my dad was born in India, and my grandfather was born in Persia, and my great-grandfather was born in Russia.
Okay.
Before that, North America.
So that's a long trip.
Yeah, but we're all English.
Okay.
That's the thing. So my whole family, they were part of the British Empire back in the day. A lot of them were military, which was why so much travel. I was born in Hong Kong.
Okay.
I did about 10 years in England, but I spent the rest of my time in Asia, and then I've been here in the US for 10 years, but full time here in Texas for just over a year and a half.
Okay. All right. So that explains it. So what ages? So when you were there, what ages would you have been?
In England?
Yes.
I was in England from about 6 till 18. Then at 18, I took a gap year to Hong Kong. While I was there, got into some fun, got into some modeling, got into movies. And so what I then did was, while I was doing college in England for 4 months of the year, I spent the rest of my time in Hong Kong. And then at about the age of 23, I went to Singapore for a 2-week vacation to visit my parents, and I left like 11 years later with a Texan wife and 2 kids.
All right. So now that you're here, I know you've got a lot of videos and things where you do the similarity of things, and you're explaining Texas to those that don't know. So what are some of the things that you've run across that come to mind with a lot of the big differences that you see?
Well, sometimes it's actually not about the differences. Sometimes it really is about finding what we have in common. And honestly, that's why I started doing that Englishman in Texas. I feel like, well, one, Texas is a massively misunderstood state, even, to be honest, by a lot of Texans. And I also find that so much of stuff that's out there, so much media news and stuff like that, is really just trying to divide people and put them in separate camps and fight them against each other. And I like to try and bring up things and stuff that we can all find in common and agree on. So to begin with, I just started making sort of commentaries on Texas. I think the most recent one that I found quite interesting, though, was I did a video a couple of days ago, which is doing pretty well, actually, about how Texans are like the Spartans. And it was just a throwaway comment that my wife made. But the more I looked into it, the more overlaps that I saw, that like you've got the Battle of Thermopylae with King Leonidas, but then you've also got the Alamo. And I'm like, okay, that's one particular thing. But it went a little bit further, that when it came to King Leonidas and the 300, that they were told to throw down their weapons, and they replied, molon labe, which is Greek for come and take it, basically, which is exactly where they got come and take it from. So the more I looked into it, the more I realized that, there's those interesting sort of historical partnerships. Like another one I'm looking into with Brits and Texans is, I often refer to your blue bonnets as bluebells, and that's got nothing to do with the ice cream that you guys love. It's because in the UK, we have our own wildflowers, which are bluebells as well, and we go and sit and take photos with them. So I'm like, the more time I spend here, the more little nuances that I see, that there's a lot that we all have in common, and it's kind of fun to sort of comment on it, because you'd be surprised how many Texans I teach about Texas. They're like, well, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I hadn't been a lot, but I've probably spent a few months over in England and seeing the sights and traveling and seeing stuff over there, and there is some difference. But of course, when we go over there, we go in June because it's hot for them over there. It's perfect for me.
Well,
it's great. Yeah, it's great. I love it. And
well, I'd say right now, I had my parents, my mum and dad, they just came over from Thailand. I had them here for about 2.5 weeks. They came out for the eclipse. And the weather here, where I live just outside of Waco, has been perfect. But it's like a perfect English summer. So this is as bad as it gets for an English summer, which honestly, let's be honest, really only lasts 2 days. The rest of the time, it's just raining.
Yeah. I did notice that the times that we were there, it seemed like it rained every day. And we went to, we were there one time. We went to, I guess, the Brighton Beach or Brighton Cove. Mm-hmm. And so we went out there, and we were out there on the pier. And I think it's 60 degrees out there, something like that. I've got on a coat. I wanted a coat. And there are people out there swimming in the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, you take what you can when it comes to the beach in the UK. I mean, I remember it was Chelsea Beach where my dad grew up. He'd take us there. I use the word beach just because I guess it's next to the water, but it was made up of rocks.
Yeah, it was all rocks.
Walking over pebbles. And then you just go for as long as you can until you get frostbite. And then it's like, oh, come and have an ice cream and warm up.
Oh, man. Yeah, so what, when you're traveling around Texas and doing your videos and things, what are there certain things you look for, or certain attractions, or certain historical places, or what when you're looking for different spots to see?
Well, honestly, I like to let the story come to me. I try not to overthink it. So before I started doing That Englishman in Texas, I worked in TV. I hosted television shows for 16 years. I used to host a national show here called Right This Minute, doing viral videos. And before that, in Asia, I drove the cash cab. I worked for Discovery Channel, Food Network, HBO, Cinemax. So I've got a lot of experience telling stories. Mm-hmm. And, when it comes to online stories, it's about trying to find a story that you can tell within 90 seconds to 3 minutes. Because after about 90 seconds, people
they're out.
You now.
Yeah.
And so every now and again, you get something sort of engaging. But I honestly walk into a situation with just an open mind. And I've learned, because I do all of it, I mean, my entire production studio is on my phone. So I shoot it, I edit it, I use an app on that, I do the voiceovers, subtitles, upload everything. So as I just go out and experience the day, as I'm experiencing it, I just capture it on the camera. But I've had enough experience in TV to know when to make a comment to camera, when to pick up the cutaways. And so I often tell people, they go, so what are you going to do? And I go, I have no idea. I'll figure it out when I get there.
Yep. Just travel. So, where's the places you've been? What's been a place that you've been when you're just out and about or whatever that really might have shocked you, that you didn't realize?
Well, I wouldn't say so much shock. I'd say just like one thing that I'm really trying to do now is to sort of expand out. Texas is quite a big place. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been having cities reaching out to me directly now. So I'm getting invites all over the state to come out, spend a few days in a city, and kind of experience it. But at the same time, I think one of my favorite little random things is there is a tiny little town called Cranfill's Gap, which is about an hour away from Waco.
Yeah.
And I had a follower reach out, because I'd done a video about burgers, and he was like, look, if you want a good burger, you've got to go to the Horny Toad Bar and Grill in Cranfill's Gap. And I'm like, okay. Well, I happened to be down Highway 6 because I've been doing either the steak cook-off in Hico or rib cook-off in Eastland. And I realized on my way back, if I took like a 60-mile detour on Farm to Market roads, I could get to Cranfill's Gap. So I'm like, hey,
right.
I'm not doing anything today. So I took that, random back road drive as you do. And I turned up in Cranfill's Gap, which I described as a 7-iron town. I could hit a 7-iron across it. There's nothing to it really. And there's this one place, which is like the Horny Toad Bar and Grill. That place was one of my favorite videos because I walked in and it was just pure Texas. And you'd be surprised, well, you probably won't be surprised, but having a British accent and turning up into a place like that generates a lot of conversation very quickly. And it was just pure Texas. It was so funny. I was in absolute stitches, but my follower was correct. That's the best burger I have found in Texas so far. It's the jalapeno cheddar sourdough bun cheeseburger from Cranfill's Gap. Horny Toad Bar and Grill. There's my recommendation.
That sounds good. So what about, I guess you said you wanted some cook-off, so I guess you're a big fan of barbecue?
Oh yeah, who's not? I mean, how can you not be a big fan of barbecue? But yeah, that's been kind of like a fun little thing that has happened as That Englishman in Texas has grown, that I've done a fair few now. So I did, the Eastland rib cook-off, which I just did for the second year. I got to do the Hico steak cook-off, which was like, Oli, do you want to taste 40 ribeyes? Yeah, yes, I do. Cranfill's Gap, they did the bacon bash and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun to get out there. And, Texans, they're not in any rush about anything. Because it takes all day. The sun is risen, the sun is set, and I'm not out of Texas yet, when it comes to kind of cooking a brisket, it's like, sure, I could chuck it in the oven and leave it alone. Or we could smoke it for 15 hours and do it the hard way. And that's what I kind of like about Texans, is like, you can do it the easy way or the hard way. Most of the time, we'll do it the hard way.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I do them. I'll get out there on like a early Saturday morning or something and fire up the smoker, throw one on, and sometimes Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening we'll eat.
Yeah, at some point, by the time you get hungry. You'd definitely be hungry by that point. I did have a fun one the other day. This video did really well. It was over 1 million views, I think. But it was some family friends of my wife and they were doing they were prepping a pig, but it was 590-pound pig. And they were doing it the traditional way. So I turn up, they just hand me a knife, and I'm helping scrape these hairs off and things like that. Then I had to go up to Dallas because my daughter had a dance show, come back to Dallas. By the time I get back, there's enough food for the 150 people that turned up for this particular cook-off. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's the trick that I do on those when I'm smoking the brisket like that is I snacking while I'm cooking. And what I like to do is I'll get a full pan, and I'll take a bag of frozen shrimp, wash them off, dump them in there, put a big scoop of butter on top, a little bit of seasoning, throw them in the smoker, and just snack while you're cooking.
Yeah, you're making me hungry. I should be eating before I get into this interview. Thank you, Pepper.
Yeah, that's my trick to it. I'll do that, and I'll sit there and I'll snack on the shrimp all day.
That's not a bad idea. I'll put that one in my little. I'll write that as a note. Eat shrimp with pepper.
Yeah. Yep. So you were just at the. I seen one of your videos. Y'all went to San Antonio to the rodeo.
I was at the Austin rodeo.
Or Austin. Okay.
I was down there. I was invited by a friend of mine, Jimmy Pierce, who was the guy that gave me. He created my custom-made cowboy hat that I have. But then also, like I said, my mom and dad were in town, so I took them down to San Antonio, took them to the Alamo, took them to Mitiera, the River Walk, and then through Fredericksburg so they could see wine country, the hill country, and of course, with all the wildflowers out now. That's why I told them to come. I said, look, if you'd come 3 weeks earlier, there'd be no leaves on the trees. If you come later, it's going to be hot as hell, and that's already how hot it is in Phuket, where they're from. So I was like, come here. It's going to be great. It's going to look great. It's going to smell great. Unfortunately, my allergies went just nuclear while they were here. So I sounded like I had emphysema for most of the time that they were here, but fortunately I survived, so it's okay. But that's the only downside. I live just outside Waco. I've got 3.5 acres, and it turns out I'm allergic to sort of cedar, which is every single tree that I can see out of my window. So at certain times of the year, it does get kind of tricky.
So let me ask you this: when you were in San Antonio down the Riverwalk, it's been probably 10 years or so since I've been down there. But did y'all happen to go to the Buckhorn Saloon with the Buckhorn Museum, where you walk through and see all the taxidermy and
I haven't been to that.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah,
but I will tell you that the Alamo, they've got a new museum there where they have the Phil Collins collection. A lot of people didn't know that, but that was Phil Collins' favorite hobby. He had this huge thing. Absolutely awesome. Like, if you haven't been to San Antonio for a while, take a trip, go to the Alamo, but check out their new museum because that was awesome. My dad loved it.
Huh. I have to do that. Yes, it's been a long time since I've been down there.
What's keeping you from going to San Antonio? It's Fiesta, right? You got to go. Fiesta.
I know.
I ended up randomly in Coyote Ugly on a random Saturday night, and it got messy. I'll tell you that much. Entertaining and messy.
Yeah. Oh man. So you're in Waco, so I guess you've hit the Magnolia shops over there.
Funny enough.
No, you haven't been there.
I've been coming to Waco for 20 years. Since I met my wife, and Waco in the last 3 years has changed. It's unrecognizable, to be honest. It's incredible how much it's grown, how much is going on. I used to say the only thing you'd find downtown in Waco was parking because there was nothing to do. Whereas now it's quite the opposite, especially at certain times of day and certain weekends around that Magnolia area. It's absolutely heaving with tourists. And it depends on which Wacoan you're talking to about how they really feel about that. It's like, property prices have gone up. Great, so have land taxes. So we're not exactly thrilled about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've never stopped in. I guess that's that whole tourist thing. Whereas I kind of like exploring and finding these sort of individual businesses and restaurants. There's like Segovia Wine Bar. I'm a big fan of. They're just down the road from there, and they're right across from the Dr. Pepper Museum. There's these new rooftops that have been opening around town as well, things like that. And that's what I think sets Waco apart from Dallas and Fort Worth, from Austin, San Antonio, Houston. Is we don't have ring roads, we don't have traffic, we don't have rush hour, but I can drive 20 minutes from here. 6 minutes from here is an HEB, so I'm already winning.
Right.
20 minutes from here is downtown, and I can go downtown and I can get a cocktail or tapas or sushi or gelato or something like that, and then 20 minutes back the other way, I'm in the country. Yeah. I've got, coyotes howling, and you've got all kinds of stuff. So I think for me, it's like I got the best of both worlds when it comes to Texas, minus the Mad Maxian level of driving that you need to be on a highway in a major city in Texas, because y'all are crazy.
Yeah. If you ain't going 20, 30 over speed limit, you're going to run over.
See, I agree. And it's like, while I'm on I-35, I'm definitely one of those people that believes the left-hand lane is the unofficial Texas Autobahn.
Right.
You should be able to go, if you're going slow in that lane, just get the heck out of the way. But when I get up into down to Houston or up into Dallas-Fort Worth around the airport, around rush hour, I mean, like, you know, I'm not a religious guy, but I certainly started speaking to some higher power in hopes that I would make it through this drive.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that. Oh, have you been, since you're in Waco, have you been to, we did do Dr. Pepper Museum, I did do that, and I did the Texas Ranger Museum. Have you been there?
Yeah. That was one of the very first things I did 20 years ago. I think my wife took me to that, which was another thing, actually, that from going back to when I was talking about Texans and Spartans, that very famously, that if anybody asked Sparta for aid, they would historically send one warrior. But then when you get to the Texas Ranger Museum, you've got that other thing of one riot, one ranger. So yet another sort of Spartan sort of overlap there. But yeah, the Texas Ranger Museum is very cool. It's right across from McLean Stadium, which is like that whole big new stadium that when you come into Waco, you can't miss it. But like I've been coming here, like I said, I used to watch Baylor lose at their old stadium. Because back in the day, Baylor was terrible. Mm-hmm. I mean, they would give tickets away at 7-Eleven. Hey, do you want to go watch a football game? Sure. Who's going to win? Not Baylor. But I was also there when they won the Alamo Bowl. I was down in San Antonio when RG3 as a quarterback running it in. So once Baylor had that moment happen, suddenly Baylor, you know, a bunch of money's coming in. Now you've got the new stadium. Now you've got the downtown redeveloping. Now you've got Magnolia come in. So that's what I mean. Like, yeah, I said, like in the last 3-4 years, I was driving my mum and dad around going, that used to be a field, now it's 2,000 houses. That used to be a field, now it's 10,000 houses. That used to be a field. So Waco's growing, but some of us are still trying to hold on to that kind of country feel.
Yeah. I think, I passed through Waco, I don't know, a few months ago, and I stopped in at Dave's Hot Chicken.
I've heard of Dave's Hot Chicken. Have not.
Oh, it's so good. Man, it's hot. It's hot, but it's good.
I haven't, like, so people often ask me, like, so what's the best sort of barbecue? And I'm like, honestly, I'm kind of out of practice because I know Jasper's is the oldest and things like that. But I tell you, it was terrible. This is going back 10 years, though, when I first moved here. My wife and I, so my wife, she's from here, but we both worked in television in Asia. And so for 9 months after I moved, because it took so long for my green card to come in, it was a bloody nightmare. So I was living in Texas, working in Singapore, so flying 33 hours each way every 10 days or so. But there was one period of time when my wife was out of town. A good friend of ours had sort of like surgery. And so I was spending time with her every day. And I said, I tell you what, every day we'll get different barbecue from all around Waco. All the classics, the old ones, the new ones, things like that. Even Rudy's. And at the end, we'll decide which one had the best brisket. Rudy's had the best brisket. We felt terrible, but it wasn't even close. So, you know, I love that. I know that Rudy's like, hey, we're the worst barbecue in Texas, but I'll say back then, they had pretty good brisket.
Oh, you're going to have to hit I don't know if they got them down there. They're more up here in East Texas area, but Soul Man's barbecue.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I've been meaning to come up to Dallas because I hear about Zavala's.
Oh, yeah.
Is what I'm interested in. Zavala's barbecue is good. And Black's barbecue is coming to Waco soon. They're advertising it, so... There's some options right there. Though I have to be honest, some of my neighbors just make great brisket themselves. They're pros.
Right, and I guess you figured the difference in do they still? I guess you were in Hong Kong and over that way, but do they still do like when we were over in England and Ireland and stuff, and they'd say, hey, we're having a barbecue, and then we'd go out there and they're hot dogs.
Yep. Yeah, it's so funny. You should bring that up. My wife was just talking about that. We were telling the story about when we first met, and I invited her over. This is in Singapore 20-something years ago, and I said, oh, come over. We're having a barbecue. But barbecue to Brits means we're grilling.
Yeah.
You know, it's chicken and sausages and things like that. She turns up and says, oh, barbecue. And then she's like, I could tell she was confused when she first turned up, but she's like, oh, wait, this isn't barbecue, this is grilling. I said, yeah, on a barbecue. What are you talking about? If you think those cultural things still happen 20 years later, yes, they absolutely still do.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Golly. So let's talk about this website. You got a website here. We'll pop that up.
ThatEnglishmanInTexas.com, or you can find me as That Englishman in Texas on Instagram and TikTok, or you find me on Facebook as Oli Pettigrew. Yeah, there you go. That's me.
There you are. And you even got some merch out there.
I do. Yeah. I'm actually this shirt that I'm wearing right now is from a small Texas brand, Texas owned and operated, called BTB & Co. And so I've sort of partnered up with them. So they supply me with all kinds of great stuff that people can buy if you want to, but they also help me out doing my merchandise as well. So you can get sort of, for the sort of new Texans like me, you can get Adopted Texan t-shirts and hoodies and things like that. Get some really good coffee or tea mugs. Mm-hmm. Putting the tea in Texas. But you've also got some other stuff that you can enjoy as well. But also you can find some great stuff on BTB & Co. as well, where if you've got anything sort of like Texan, or they've got this great sort of armadillo logo that they use as well. I would recommend it if you're looking to show your Texas pride. Okay,
that's all right. Well, got the people checking that out. One more thing I want to get to before you get out of here. Before they crossed over, I hadn't had him back on the show since. I need to, but I haven't reached back out to him yet to get him back on. But when Josh and Jace came, I had Josh on before he came.
Oh yeah.
So what? Well, I know you guys met up at some point. So what was that like?
It was really fun. Yeah, it was one of those things because they were coming and they were doing their big old road trip, and I was like, I had so many people tagging me in their videos that I was like, okay. So I reached out to them. I was like, look, guys, if you're going to be in Dallas, you've got to have someone going to teach you how to survive Texas. So we met up at there's a pub called the Londoner.
Yeah.
Right near the airport. Mm-hmm. Bumped into them. It's funny actually because especially when it comes to Josh and Jace, they're very exuberant.
Yeah.
They're very loud and always doing their accents. But when you actually meet them, they're quite subdued. Mm-hmm. Whereas they were just normal. Oh hey, how you doing? Oh that's interesting. Oh cool, yeah. Whereas especially when I did television, it was the same way that when people would meet me, they're like, "Wow, you're just like you are on TV." I'm like, "Yeah, that's just me. It's just who I am."
Yeah.
But yeah, they were lovely fellas. If they ever came back through Texas, I'd absolutely try and meet up with them again. I know they are in and out of America quite a lot. I have noticed that. I think they are trying to move here, but that's not an easy thing to do. You've got to be like me. You've got to marry a Texan. And then spend a lot of money, and then wait 18 months, and then you'll get a green card. But still, so unless, I don't know, if there is a lonely Texas lady that is watching this right now, maybe reach out to Josh, and you can have your very own Englishman.
Yeah, he's got his dating app out there. I seen the other day somewhere he's posting out there trying to find. They want to come back. They like it, but it's like you say, it's different. What people think over there, it is like here, and what people here think it's like over there. Once you get over there or something, it's totally different.
Very. Though I will say I did a video about this one as well because a lot of people are like, oh, the British accent, like the English accent works. And I go, oh, it does work. But so does the Texas accent. I mean, you've been to the UK, right?
Yeah.
As soon as people find out you're from Texas, they're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you ride a horse? Have you got a pistol? Do you go to rodeos?
Yep. They do. Well, the first time we went, I was like, I'm not going to wear a hat. I'll just throw on a cap or whatever, just go and just kind of, not really try to blend in, but not stick out, so much. And it didn't matter. You start talking like, you're from Texas, huh? Do you know Dallas? Yeah. And then when the second time went back, I was like, the heck with it. I just threw on a hat and went, and it was, everybody was just going nuts on that. Texas, what? Y'all have horses? Do you have cars? And I mean, just like crazy questions that they would ask. And I guess
it's the same thing. People find out you're from England and go, oh, you live in London? Oh, did you meet the Queen? And I'm like, all right, well, no. My sister used to live in Windsor Castle, though. So I'd have to go visit her inside Windsor Castle. So that's true. I used to play rugby against Prince William. Uh-huh. So, certain overlaps.
There you go. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we've had you for a while. We appreciate you visiting with us. Maybe I'll hit you up next time I travel through Waco and check out that barbecue stand. And
you bet. Well, look, thanks for the invite as well. It was a real pleasure talking to you guys.
All right. We'll see you down the road. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. Man, it's always interesting to see the other side, the other perspectives of things. So that's good stuff. You learn anything?
I've been to London once, and I know exactly what you're talking about as far as like them asking if we all wear 10-gallon hats and if
Yep.
we ride horses. But I did not know that in order for you to be a successful Texan, you had to have parents that came from every region of the world.
That is good stuff, though. Man, that's
He said, what did he say? Peruvian?
everywhere.
Oh my God.
They're well traveled. I didn't realize he was.
And he sounds like a successful Texan.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, he knows the good places. I need
He's
to get
got
out
it.
more.
He has got it figured out. He has got that.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I did not hear him say once over yonder. And I
Oh.
need to hear him say over yonder to be a good Texan.
I should ask him. Call him back. No. Oh, man, what time is it? Man, we are getting up on this. All right, we got time. What are we going to do? Let's do, I guess we need to do some, let me do these horse sales right quick and let you guys know about some horse sales. Everybody wants to know about the horse sale. Horse market's blowing up. You got Yellowstone really blew up the horse market. Beyonce's doing that too. She's helping blow up the Western market as well. So if you are looking for a horse, there are some spots you can watch on the interweb net, on the YouTubes, as they say. Red River Horse Sale in Savoy, Texas. If you head towards Bonham and then hang a left, go northish, I guess. I don't know, I always get it wrong. But anyway, Google it, Red River Horse Sale. You can buy horses online. You can watch on YouTube, buy horses there, or you can go a little further south to Elkhart, Texas. The Elkhart Horse Auction in Elkhart. You can watch and buy online as well. And then the Paris Horse Sale in Paris, Texas. They are not online. You can't buy online. You got to buy there. But they're in Paris, Texas. But all of those, you can peruse their Facebook page to see what horses are going to be available at those particular sales so you can make your plans to attend whichever you'd like. And while I'm discussing that, this is what we were talking about. We were talking about the Western images. We're going to dive into Western images and what is happening because Beyonce has put out a country album. And so everybody went nuts about that. I don't know why, because the country music that you hear today is not the country of old, like the legitimate old school country, like the 70s, 80s. It's all different and kind of poppy. So to me, it all sounds the same. Maybe you guys will probably tell me different. Anyway, so what's happening is Beyonce busted out with a Western album. She did an AI cover for her album, and she's riding a horse sideways with no blanket on the horse, and everybody threw a fit about that. And then she did some photo shoots where she had hats on backwards. She had spurs on upside down. She was trying to sling a rope and had that wrong. And it's got the Western fashionistas in a tizzy. Their pantries are in a bunch, so to say. But let me break this down for you guys that are all upset at Beyonce. Here's what's happening. Yes, it looks funny to the trained eye, but to the untrained eye, which is probably 95% of her fan base, they have no idea what they're looking at anyway. It's just the 5% from the Western industry that pick these things out, which is just like anything else. Whatever industry you're in, if you're watching it on TV or you're watching it in a movie, you're seeing whatever, you're going to pick out the things that don't go. And that's what's happening. So let me break this down for you. Urban Cowboy in the 80s. Everybody got upset when the Urban Cowboy came out back in the 80s. But what happened? Everybody wanted to be a cowboy then. Western wear, Western industry, all that stuff went up with everybody wanting to be a cowboy. It's cool to be a cowboy again. Then there's some other shows, other things that happened. You had Lonesome Dove come out and people want to be cowboy again. You know, Lonesome Dove kind of did some stuff. And now in the social media age that we're in now, Yellowstone blew up, had the same thing. You had people complaining about the show, that that's not realistic, that's not this, that's not that, everybody's in a tizzy. But what did it do? Once again, everybody wanted to be a cowboy. Everybody wanted to buy a horse. Everybody wanted to ride horses. So what happened to the horse market? Boom, horse market went up. That's good for the Western industry. Now Beyonce, she's doing her thing. Now what's happening with Beyonce? After her album release, what happened? Boot sales went up. Everybody wants boots now. The boot sales, boom, they jacked up. The last report, I think, was like 20% after the album release, and it's still going up. Then you have Levi's, Levi jeans, bam. Everybody wants to wear Levi's now. They want jeans. Wrangler has bounced up too, because Wrangler has kind of they've got more of a wide range of clothing that fits, and everybody's upset about that. And then they're all mad. You can't wear that. You don't have a horse. You can't wear boots. You can't wear a hat. Okay, here's my thoughts on what they call the gatekeepers of the Western industry fashionistas. This is my thoughts. You're wearing basketball shoes. People go around wearing basketball shoes. Do they all play basketball? Are they all NBA basketball players? They all play in basketball shoes? No. You're wearing tennis shoes. Everybody wearing tennis shoes. Are you playing tennis? No, probably not. You're wearing running shoes. Are you running? No, you're not running. You're wearing Hey Dudes. Or Vans. Those are skate shoes. Are you skateboarding? Probably not. It's the same thing with you guys that wear football jerseys or basketball jerseys to go watch a game. You're dressing up to go to the game. Same thing. People want to dress up and go to the rodeo. Dress up and go to the rodeo if you want to go. All that does is help out the Western industry, the Western lifestyle. It's just helping. And too many people are complaining and turning it upside down. You can't wear this. There's a Facebook group. I don't want to name the group because I don't want to call them out on this, but there's a group out there that's a Western fashionista type group or whatever with all these people that post daily. They're wearing their hats, they're wearing hats, or they're showing off their boots or their shirts or whatever. And they all live in town. 90% of the people in this group, they live in town, they live in the city, but they enjoy wearing boots, wearing hats, wearing shirts, dressing up. So let them. If they want to wear it, let them wear it. Quit trying to rock these people's world for no reason. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me, but a lot of things don't. I mean, just like with whatever it is. Music, you don't want to listen to the music, don't listen to it. Just do what you want to do. Quit complaining so much. There's a lot of that going on everywhere, you complainers. What else do we want to talk about? Because everybody else is mad at me already. We got a movie trailer. We got a movie trailer that is going to hit streaming in theaters in June, and it's called Ride. And if you remember back when we talked to Tommy Howe is in this movie along with Forey J. Smith. So check it out.
When that chute opens, all my pain, all that emptiness just goes away. For 8 seconds. It's like all I gotta do is hold on.
Well, looky here, old John Hawkins' boy. He's fresh out the joint, He don't ride like Daddy did.
Hey, Doc. My sweet baby girl.
John.
Virginia's cancer is back.
That's $160,000 you'll owe.
What the hell am I supposed to do now?
I think we should start a conversation with Peter. We turned our back on him.
Yeah, in my day, the goal was to stay on. Trying to go pro or win that cash.
Don't win that money.
I think Dad is freaking out about money.
Champs ain't made riding. They're made in them few seconds right after they fall.
My dad, I don't want to know what he'd give up for Virginia.
We got ourselves a Texas side showdown.
I know you'd do anything for your sister, but everything is pointing to you.
I'm talking to my wife right now, to the sheriff.
You stand for everything. Family, faith, and strong American values.
We're not perfect, but we're trying to do what's right no matter what it takes.
No matter how hard you fight.
I don't need help raising my daughter.
Whether you make 8 or not, the bull always chucks you. Always.
I am a bull.
Rodeo time. Rodeo time, guys. Rodeo time in Texas. This is what's happening. Corpus Christi. Down in the Corpus Christi. Stephanie Fryer is about to, maybe not, she's shooting her shot at becoming the first female overnight millionaire in Western sports. And you're like, what does that mean? All right, so the World Champion Rodeo Alliance has what's called the Triple Crown, where if you win, I think it's 3 events in a row. I think it's what it was last time. I'd have to look, but anyway, Stephanie Fryer is approaching to be the $1 million Triple Crown of Rodeo bonus. So she'll get that bonus if she wins at Corpus Christi, down in Corpus Christi, Texas, way down south. She wins, she will get it done. An athlete earning $1 million or more in a single night is a rare occurrence in the sport of rodeo. And this is only the second time in the sport a woman has been the sole contender for such a cash bonus. She's won $750,000 in her professional career, and that $1 million check she could earn on May 11th will exceed her 18-year career earnings combined. So, if Fryer wins Rodeo Corpus Christi, she'll be crowned the second and final champion of the coveted WCRA Triple Crown of Rodeo, presented by Lazy E. In December, R.C. Landingham became the first and only to date to be the Triple Crown winner when he won the $1 million check. So, that right there is going to be some good watching. It's large leaps and bounds for rodeo and women's rodeo as breakaway roping is even become more dominant. So those of you that laughed at me back in 2018 or 19 when I wrote the article about the emergence of breakaway roping in performances and people thought that was dumb, it would never happen, joke's on you guys, because breakaway roping is blowing up. And I know you've seen the news, if you follow breakaway roping, about the big money roping that is going to be happening. So women's sports, thumbs up, right? Is that what we do? Thumbs up. What else are we going to do? What else do we have? What else do we have to do? Let's do this. Let's talk about this show I watched recently. It's called Killing Eve. We've got the official trailer for that. It's on Netflix, I believe, right now. It's a BBC thriller. That means British TV, not BBC or BBW like you're thinking in your brain. This series, Killing Eve, centers on 2 women. Eve is a bored, whip-smart, pay-grade MI5 security officer who is desk-bound and would love to be a spy. She fantasizes about it. She studies spies. She wants to be a spy. Villanelle is a talented killer, or hitman, so to speak, who clings to luxury to... It's based on books. Killing Eve is not your typical spy action thriller, as these 2 women are equally obsessed with each other, go head-to-head in an epic game of cat and mouse.
I know you are an extraordinary person, exceptionally bright, determined. I know something happened to you. I know you're a psychopath. You should can never tell a psychopath they are a psychopath. It upsets them. Are you upset?
All right, so check it out, man. That's good, and it's there's some funny stuff in there, there's some comedy in there because the British lady, the assassin, her facial expressions and the jokes and stuff that happen throughout the show it's pretty fun. It's not your average spy versus spy thriller, and there's so many twists and turns in this. And I think we've been watched it in like a day or two. But it was good. It was good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, Ray Nicole Music, look her up on the interweb net, see where she's playing next. I think she's going to be in the Stockyards playing for a while. She got some stuff going on there all around the DF Dubs. So check her out and enjoy this tune.
My daddy played country music. My mama played rock and roll. And every time I'm on the stage, I feel it